Ricardo Mollá, thank you very much for being here in Helsinki. We are premiering now this week at the Helsinki Philharmonic Orchestra a piece by Ricardo, so really grateful that you're here with us. For us, literally, it's a dream come true that we are playing a piece and you are listening to us, so it's amazing. Ricardo, for everyone watching us, how would you summarize your journey and what was it that first sparked your passion for music?
Thank you for having me here in Helsinki. I was in the rehearsal this morning and it sounded fantastic, both pieces. And so where everything started, so I would say from my parents, because my father is an amateur musician, he plays saxophone, and all my brothers and my sister, we all went to the conservatory in my hometown. And I would say it was a mix of a few things. Usually music goes together with friendship. So all of my friends went to the same wind band. I liked music because I had grown up in an environment where music was around me. And at the same time, you start creating groups. I remember I did a brass quintet with my friends of the hometown, and we didn't have much repertoire. So back then, I started to learn a little bit how to put music into the computer. So I would say that started to motivate me little by little. I wasn't especially skilled. I don't think I had, apart from maybe a little bit of high register, all the rest was a mess. So I would say I just got into the wave with the rest of my friends, and we all decided, okay, let's do music. And here we are.
Yes, the rest is history.
Yes.
You were a world-class trombonist, but you decided to transition into full-time composition. Was this a change that you had been reflecting for a long time, or was there a key moment when you felt you had to put all the focus into only composing?
When I started the bachelor degree in Alicante and then Hanover, I was studying trombone and composition, and my first idea was to keep doing both things forever. And it's true that at the beginning of my career, let's say, trombone shined a little bit more, also because I studied in the States. I met many people, then I worked in orchestra in Malaysia and Denmark as well, but it got to a point where I found out that I wasn't able to do composition and trombone at the highest level possible. And some people find it easy to just do things okay, and maybe you do a master class or you teach a lesson to a student and you simply do your best, but for some reason inside me I felt I was cheating myself and cheating the students and everybody else when I wasn't prepared enough in everything I did, especially with the trombone, because composition requires a lot of time. So when I was like 26 or 25, I was already struggling with all that work together that led to a position where you have no life. I know everybody knows Christian Limber. He can do in an amazing way conducting, composing, playing, and having that high energy. But in my case, I found out that I could do that, but I could take my health in that process. So I decided, let's focus on composition, and I'm gonna do my 100% to express what I want through composition instead of trombone. And if you're a musician, I feel like you can do it. What is important is not the trombone itself, is music, and is trying to transmit And that's why, although I miss it a little bit, I feel that my artistic life is fulfilled right now. So there wasn't a specific moment. It was just a process of realizing that I have no time to do everything that I want. So let's focus on whatever is working best, I think.
Yes, completely. And what was your approach back then when you started studying trombone and composition at the same time? Was it 50-50 or you did a bit more trombone than composition? How was your approach?
I have always been like a last minute person in terms of I had a competition, so for the last 5 days I practiced like hell. And for some reason that strategy worked for me. And the same for composition. I have a commission. For the last few days before the commission, I work as much as I can until the deadline, and then I submit it. But that's not the healthy way to do it. So at some point I started to be more I started to apply more discipline in my daily routine with trombone and also composition. But again, when I worked in orchestra, for example, in Denmark with the Danish Radio Symphony Orchestra, I could see some of my colleagues that could be 10 minutes before the rehearsal and just be on the seat and play perfectly, relaxed. And in my case, it took me like 2 hours of routine, long notes. For some reason, I wasn't made to be in an orchestra. It wasn't easy to me. However, I experienced how people try to, some of my colleagues in the composition class try to compose a little piece of 1 minute and they were unable. They caused them so much stress. And in my case, it's the contrary. Whenever I have to write a new piece, I've never felt pressure. I felt stress because maybe I have lack of time, but never pressure or lack of
imagination, ideas.
Imagination or ideas. It's something that comes natural to me. So I would say, if you have the possibility, embrace what you enjoy the most and what you feel comes more naturally in yourself. Even if, like in my case, you've been your entire life doing something like playing trombone. If you have an alternative and it works better, I think it's a wise idea for your health and also for the art in general.
Yes, I completely agree with you. And at some degree, I'm more or less the same. Trombone is a nice part of our lives, but it's not everything for me and also for you. As Marcus Aurelius says, how you do anything is how you do everything. In your case, this is undeniable. High-level trombone playing, top-tier composition, a powerful personal brand on social media, and the School Festival Caudete that sells out within hours. Everything you do is of incredible quality. Where does this hunger and passion comes from? This drive to constantly provide value and support to the young brass players worldwide?
So I think the reason why I'm always looking for new challenges, I don't think it comes from ego, but from a selfish reason, which is it's something that entertains me so much. And life in general is a nonsense. You suddenly born in a place, nobody knows why, and you have your day filled with many hours and you have something to do, and finding your passion, something that really makes you happy and entertained, is so important. So for me, I can be working maybe until 12 at night or 1 in the morning, and it's pure entertainment. I don't feel it like I'm working.
Yes.
With that being said, I'm trying to find passion in other parts of my life. So even when I would be the entire day composing, starting projects, finding new challenges in the professional area, I feel like life at the end can be so empty if you don't have other things, such as friendship, family, and everything that is beyond music. But yes, I think it's important that people is able to find what they love, embrace it, and go for it as much as you can, because then, as they say, you won't have to work
Yes.
ever again. So that's how I feel.
Completely agree. If you work in your passion, you will never work again in your life. So this is exactly what happens with you.
Yeah, certainly. The only point that I would clarify is that even if you like it, you need to measure on your expectations and don't take more work that you can do it. So there's always good to have a planification and have a long-term goal, but focus on the day by day. To me, it's very important what I do day by day. It's like going to the gym. If you go only once a week and you 5 hours, it's not the same as 5 days doing 1 hour. So
completely.
yeah, that's my approach.
And this thing that you just talked about, it connects perfectly with the second question, with the next question. I'm very curious about the contrast in your daily life when you were a trombone player versus now when you are only a full-time composer. What did it change?
So life is completely different, and the same. Playing trombone is not only picking the instrument and doing long notes, it's everything that goes with it. Trips, meeting people, socializing, daily routine is a physical activity. And composing, on the contrary, is not only about composing, it's what it represents in your daily life, which is you wake up early in the morning, and in my case, my life became so simple. I live probably like a retired grandpa from a town, not very exciting for the rest of the people, but very exciting for me, which is I wake up, take a coffee with my father, then I go into the studio, answer a few emails, and then I start composing. I have my cat over here, and I'm working in these projects, and then in the midday I have lunch with my couple, then another coffee. I love coffee. I'm all that day looking for free moments to then I do some little social media, or working on the festival, or on new projects. But my day to day is so simple. That's why occasions like this, where you and Toma perform my music, are great, because it's the only moments when composers can socialize. And I miss that part, but now I'm finding that perfect balance of being having a quiet life, but then show up for some of the projects. And on top of that, I'm trying to add conducting. I'm not saying I would love to be a conductor of minor symphonies. I think that could be nice, but it's not my main goal. My main goal is to be able to conduct my music. And whenever I do, I think I'm able to help. I don't have any aspirations or expectations of becoming a huge conductor, but lately I'm doing lots of projects with conducting, and I really enjoy it, because you interact with the performance that I play in your music. So that's a little bit. I hope I didn't disappoint you.
No,
it's too boring.
No.
But it's not
I'm
that,
the same.
And then, yes, I find that being able to appreciate simple things, it's important. And whenever it comes to making a living, I have found out many times that the more you focus about, for example, earning money, the less money you earn. The more you focus about having a good product, in other words, writing the best music, like you can write a bad piece. Sorry, you can write a great piece and have poor promotion, but that piece is gonna work because the piece speaks by itself.
Yes.
But you can write a poor piece without really caring, and you can have the best cameras in the world, have a promotion planification, and it is not gonna work. And I've experienced that over and over and over. So whenever I have a crisis in any area of my life, I just focus on, okay, let's do the best music I can today, or even in social media, let's edit the best video that most of the audience is going to enjoy, and that's my approach to the profession.
Completely. That's why everything you do is all high quality. So
not always,
or at least you try to make it as good as you can.
Yeah, the thing is, you don't have to worry about the result of what you do. You have to worry about what you are doing.
Yes.
That's what I would. That's how it works for me, and it's the same with the festival. So every time I do the festival, my main goal never is, okay, we're gonna open applications and there are gonna be 120 people that apply in 1 second. No, what I try to think is, okay, I'm a student. What do I want from a festival?
Yes.
And then I try to pick teachers that they like each other, that there's gonna be a good environment. So all the teaching classes like a family. And then for the activities, I try to feel, okay, what nobody's doing this. So let's try to, let's do all kind of projects during the festival. Like chamber music, masterclass, do real orchestral training. Sometimes even we've done it with orchestra. So we brought an orchestra and they have students have played in the section. Do brass ensemble with a student. Things that complicate your life but make their life easier. So it's
completely agree. Giving the students the best possible experience for them to learn and grow. That's really, really, really amazing. About the festival, why did the festival started? What was the idea behind it?
So the festival started just to gather together a bunch of friends who had studied together in the conservatory, and at that moment, that was 12 years ago, it was 2014 I think, I was studying in New York. Another one of my friends, trumpet player, was studying in Finland. Another one was already working in an orchestra. So we said, okay, let's organize something simple in my hometown. The name was totally random. So Namsco, people ask me why we chose that name. It really.
What does it mean actually?
Namsco it doesn't sound so good in English, but I would say it's kind of like crazy, like nothing in your head.
Yes.
The reason why we chose it is because at the beginning of the festival, we were two main artistic organizers. The bass trombone of Paris Philharmonic, which is Jose Angelis Isla, and myself. And we both called us in Spanish paquete. Paquete means like
the box.
Like you are a little crazy. And we said, okay, let's create the Paquete Brass Festival. But then we felt like, okay, let's make it more international. So we tried to find a translation, and it was Namsco. But it really has no sense. So for the festival, it started. First year, we had I think one tuba player showed up. It was almost no people. But the first year, students had a great experience. So they spoke with their friends. And the second year, it grew a little bit.
Yes.
And what I would, okay, you didn't ask me for advice, but what I would advise to people who wants to organize a festival is to do an organic growing. So I haven't seen any festival that goes big the first time and stays forever. Usually those festivals, everything that grows fast falls
it dies
fast.
fast. Yes.
So what I would say, for example, very easy way to organize. What we did the first year with the budget is easy. Okay, depending on how many students you have, that's what you're gonna work, that's what you're gonna earn, and it's a very easy way to have a budget, and everybody is clear about it. Maybe you set a minimum of students that you need to have,
Yes.
and it's a nice way that everybody's happy. You're not gonna lose money in the process. And then once you keep growing a community, then that you can kind of ensure, nothing is sure in this life, but once you can ensure that you have a certain number of, you can start creating budgets, etc. So I would say go organic in everything in life.
Little by little. Would you say social media helped you in this growth? Because correct me if I'm wrong, this festival that you organize, the day that you open up the inscriptions, to the enrollments, it gets sold out.
Yes, it is like, for example, this year it took us 1 day because we added extra
Yes, of course.
applications.
But it's amazing, only one day.
In other festivals, in other editions, it was like few minutes.
Wow.
But you need to find the right balance. For example, now I'm quite obsessed with the limiting the price a little bit, because I think even when it was a success this time, I felt that we are reaching that point where every year you try to improve the festival, but at some point students are interested in an improvement of the quality, but there must be a price that matches that. You know what I mean?
Yes,
So
of course.
it's a dance trying to find the best
Also
possibility for most of the students. And it's funny, in the beginning of the festival, we used to spend a lot of resources on waivers. We sent waivers, you know what I mean, like paper forms.
Yes, it's flyers.
Flyers, sorry.
No, it's good.
Flyers, that's the name. To different schools all around. And the first year that we did a quest, like how do you say, like we asked students, okay, where did you find about non-food?
Yes.
And 99% said social media.
Yes.
So we stopped sending the forms.
Of course.
And it's funny because nowadays we don't really have a cover on the festival. And it's also funny that we don't say in social media apply. We are only showing the product with the trombone player playing. And instead of sharing a photo of the teachers, in January I'm starting to post how these teachers play.
Yes.
And then it's so simple, and the least text possible. So I almost use no text, and it's okay. Elmer Churampi, principal trumpet of Atlanta, is coming to Caudete. So I just post a few seconds of him playing.
Yes.
And people really like to listen to a great trumpet player.
Yes, of course.
And you are selling the festival, but at the same time, you are doing it in the most efficient way.
Yes, of course.
So that's something that I would suggest people who use social media to find a way to get your goal. It can be pure entertainment, it can be selling music, it can be
Teaching
that you are teaching, but finding a way that you don't overload people with information, and try to find a way that people is going to embrace it. So for instance, when I was trombone player, I knew how to promote myself in social media, which is same as you do. short videos, just showing your skills. But when I switched to composition, if you go to my social media, first videos were a disaster because I had no idea how do you sell a composition. And then I found out that the best way is to show just the music. And I never say, okay, I'm selling this piece, buy this piece. Never say. I only say, show my music, promote my music, and then the rest is a result.
Yes, completely. At the end, social media is a really powerful tool, and I think we all have the same possibilities. We all have a phone that we can use in order to create content, help other people online, and as a result, making a living.
Yes, and I would say there's nothing bad about it. Like,
No.
a few years ago, I used to do a lecture that was called a Musician in the 20th Century. And I remember, like, back in 2015, I asked in any university that I was giving this lecture, like, do you think that orchestra should have Instagram? And Instagram back then was considered like the TikTok today. And all of them said that no. Most of them say that that was ridiculous because the content in Instagram didn't really have much classical music. And my answer was like, no, like an entire generation is in this tool.
Exactly.
Let's fill it with classical music content. And nowadays I ask about TikTok. So I feel like classical music is always like 2 steps behind, and then they catch up. But for example, I think every orchestra should have now TikTok.
Yes.
Because every young person is on TikTok. And I would say there's nothing bad about it, and we should post the best content possible using social media.
I think so. The young generations are now more than ever on the phone, checking all of the. There was so many kids. I did a masterclass this weekend in Valencia. So many kids, they knew me from my videos, and they saw all my videos, you know.
Exactly.
And I didn't see them in my life before at that time. So it's a really, really powerful tool. I completely agree with you. And to wrap up, this is a question I always ask. Was the music the only option for you when you started? Or you had another career, another path that you wanted to pursue?
To be honest, I applied to be an engineer, but I'm not good at maths. I'm not great at numbers in general, so I didn't attend even a single class. So my parents my parents always supported me, and I felt like, okay, if you are gonna do music, do it 100%. But at the same time, all the surroundings say, okay, because I have to say I think I was a good student. I have always wanted to have the best grade, but so people said like, yeah, you should do a career, official career. So until the last moment, I was doubting like, maybe I'm wasting my time doing music. But at the end, is if you like it, nobody's gonna convince you to do something else. Yes. So if I hadn't been musician, I'm not really sure. You know, something that I like is my hobby is like coding, automatization.
Yes, nice.
So this is something I tell people that I love to automatize things. I use different softwares, and without it, I couldn't do what I do now, because most of my posting, most of my emails, everything related to the festival, I try to automatize what it can be automatized. Some things need to be very human, but it's my hobby, so probably I would have been something related to computer or...
Yes, nice.
So I think so.
Nice. It's cool. Thank you very much, Ricardo.
Okay.
That's an amazing piece of advice from you.
Yes.
Follow Ricardo Mollá Albero in the social media and stay posted. See you soon.
Thank you.